Top 10 running backs 2025. Who are they? We'll talk Dynasty too, but 2025 and 2025 Dynasty mixed in because that's how we roll. We're going to try and do that with pretty much every topic we do. Mix in some Dynasty, mix in a whole bunch of redraft, make sure everybody's taking care of best ball. Bijan, Gibbs, Barkley, some surprises. Where's Kyren at? Top 10 running backs coming right at you. A little bit of news. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the
Ziggy, off. He's constantly talking to me. Ziggy's, what's he doing back there? Bijan Robinson, Barkley, is it Gibbs? Who's your top running back? We'll go over it in just 1 second. File on in, hit that like button. Appreciate every single one of you in here. We got a little bit of news. Stephon Diggs visiting with the Patriots. The Jets like Jackson Dart, according to numerous reports. But the thing is, if you guys, let me just ask you a question. Would any of you walk into your fantasy football draft and let people know who you like? The answer is no. So Jackson Dart. Oh, we like Jackson Dart. We might take it. This is more smoke and mirrors than anything. Now, if they did take Jackson Dart with Justin Fields in New York, it would be kind of nice in one respect, right? Because you have, you're double dipping, you're backing up your plan A. And that helps Breece Hall, that helps Garrett Wilson, that helps everybody involved. But at the end of the day, are you really going to take a quarterback when you just brought in Justin Fields? You believe in Justin Fields. We believe in Justin Fields. Instead of a Tyler Warren, the best tight end prospect in the draft class, as good as some say as a prospect as Brock Bowers, are you really going to pass on a weapon like that that's going to help and enable your plan A? I don't think there's any legs to this. But we'll go over that as it, more news potentially breaks on that. But I think it's nobody's letting you know what their plan is. So anybody tells you, oh, the Jets are really considering Dart at number 7. And keep in mind the Jets draft at number 7. Or the Jets might trade down to 12 and take Dart. Trade down to 15 and take Dart. You've got to ask yourself, who's giving you that information? I mean, a lot of people are spitting it out, but who generated it? For what? Who's giving that information out? Who's telling anybody what they're going to do? It's so stupid. Look at this guy flexing right here. Love it. Look at him. Ja'Marr Chase on top of his Lambo. $161 million contract. Showing it off. Do it live. Diggs visiting with the Patriots. Coming back from an ACL tear, kind of already looked like he was kind of on the decline, right? He was definitely on the decline. Who knows what's going on with Diggs and his recovery? We really don't. He looks okay. I've seen footage of him out there running, but he's an older player recovering from an ACL tear. It wouldn't be a bad addition for any team to have a number 3, maybe their number 2 wide receiver in New England. It would be their number 1. But I don't, I think they draft a Ted McMillan and they bring in a 1. But this kid is cooked, from the standpoint of being an elite fantasy football player. But could he be a rotational 3? It's possible. It's possible. But that's all the news. There isn't a lot of news today. We're still waiting Aaron Rodgers. We're here talking. I don't know why the music is so loud on that. Let's see here. I don't know. Sorry if that was extremely loud. Bijan Robinson, running back 1. Is it Barkley? Is it Gibbs? Let's have a little bit of a debate before I lock it in. Bijan's probably the most well-rounded running back in the National Football League at the top now. Gibbs is a dynamic morph between wide receiver and running back. And so you have that potential, and he's number 1 last year, by the way. You have that potential receiving monster hiding in Jahmyr Gibbs, a 15 total touchdown running back, can get the work that a Bijan can get between the tackles, to be honest. And Bijan could get the receiving work that Gibbs could get. They just need to feed him the ball. And it's tough to say which one's going to be better this year. I honestly think it's crazy to even have a strong debate, Gibbs, Bijan, Gibbs, because both of them are just near identical monsters when it comes down to dropping fantasy football loads on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, occasional Saturdays, and occasional Fridays. I think I could go back and forth. I literally feel like I could. When I get to Gibbs in a second, I'm going to be able to debate Gibbs at 1, and that's certainly the case. So this is a tie, essentially. I love the fact that Penix Jr. is coming in to keep defenses honest. Penix Jr. is not only more accurate when he's at the goal line, around the goal line, at the 10-yard line, inside the red zone, and he keeps the defense honest, not only because he's accurate, not only because the defense says, oh, crap, they might throw a touchdown here. Kirk Cousins had 1 touchdown, and I think in a 6-game span. Kirk Cousins, his final game had 1 touchdown, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And the 5 games prior, he had 0 touchdowns. I believe that was it, 4 or 5 games prior. 0 touchdowns. When Kirk Cousins is at the 10-yard line, blue 32, the defense goes, let's stack the box, let's stop Bijan. In case they hand it to Bijan, Bijan ain't getting in. Hand it to Bijan, stuffed. Hand it to Bijan, stuffed. And we're like, oh, Bijan, why isn't Bijan scoring touchdowns? I thought all Bijan did was score touchdowns.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
He does like scoring touchdowns. He does. And the truth of the matter is he's back to the Bijan we all projected him to be. Why? Penix Jr. Why? The offense is cooking. Why? Because the defense is sitting there going, not only, holy shit, we got to worry about this guy Penix Jr. throwing a missile into the back of the end zone and striking Penix Jr. I'm sorry, Kyle Pitts, or even more scarier, Drake London. Because Drake London's catch radius is all over the place. Kyle Pitts is going to grab it here, or right here, or drop it here, or drop it here. London is catching it anywhere. His catch radius is a Volkswagen. And so you have a blue 32. Penix Jr. steps back. Where's my football? Penix Jr. steps back. The defense is like, holy shit, where's he going? Is he scrambling? Is he running in the touchdown? Now we got to spy Penix Jr. on the 10-yard line? Yeah, they do. Oh, Smitty, he didn't run in college. He didn't run in college because he didn't want to get hurt. Oh, Smitty, that sounds weak. No, the guy had suffered a number of injuries, and the coaching staff decided, we need you healthy. And even though we know you can run, even though we believe you could probably stay healthy, let's get you to the NFL. And then when you get there, you can let loose. And what'd he do? He went and ran an impressive monster 40-yard dash, and everybody said, Penix Jr.'s fast. Why did we not know Penix Jr. could run? He can run. He could run as good as pretty much anybody not named Lamar and JD5 and Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. We'll put those guys in their own little place at the top. He's literally right behind those guys in terms of capability of running. So Penix Jr. keeps the defense honest with his ability to step back, throw a missile into the end zone, zip it like Denny says. We're right to London's hands. London grabs it. Smitty doesn't drop anything. I don't drop anything. London grabs it. He doesn't drop anything. Or pump fake, London, pump fake, Kyle Pitts, little pump fake to Bijan, and then Penix Jr. runs it in. Hits the pylon. Everybody says, wow, next time. Defenses say, next time we got to watch that. My point being, Bijan that you have watched for several years does not exist anymore. He's gone. The Bijan you're about to see is facing defensive schemes he's never faced before. And when I say that, I mean lighter schemes, easier schemes. The A gap, this much more open. The B gap, this much more open. Every place on the field that he's running, this much more wide open and spread out, because Penix Jr.'s out there throwing darts and lasers and missiles all over the place. And he might run. He might run left. He might run right. He might run right, then throw right. He might run right, then throw left. He might throw a cannon downfield. Defenses won't know what's coming for him. The Bijan you've seen in the past Arthur Smith, Kirk Cousins in the lineup. That Bijan's done. He's dead. He's gone. You'll never see him again. That was a one-dimensional Bijan. Not his fault. One-dimensional Bijan. This is a multi-dimensional monster right in front of you. This is a quad-dimensional, maybe fifth-dimension running back right now. We've never seen anything like this before. We knew it was there. We preached it as a rookie. We've been waiting for it. We've been kind of wrong. Not our fault, but, you know, we weren't able to see him develop yet into the player we've been saying he is for so long. And now he gets a chance, and you saw splashes of it at the end of the year. You saw this man become Bijan, the Bijan we know he can become. We saw it. And I'll pull up his game log. We can look at it together. We can relish in his game log. First of all, what a season he had, considering he didn't get Penix Jr. until the bitter end. Considering he didn't get his quarterback that spreads out everything, makes it easy for Bijan to navigate the field. 1456 and 14 touchdowns. What a remarkable year when you really think about it. 61 receptions for 431. Let me see if I can screenshot this as well and put this on screen just so you have the full big picture, because receiving wise, he is as good as anybody in the National Football League. I think he could be the number one. I said Gibbs could be, you know, that morph, but like the truth is Bijan's every bit as good at all of the things that the most dynamic pass rush Christian McCaffrey, prime Christian McCaffrey type player can be. He had 61 receptions, 431 and 1 TD. This is light work. This is Kirk Cousins work. This is Kirk Cousins' fault right here. This could be 70, 550, and 4. This could be the same. He could have 15 to 18 touchdowns. In fact, I'm disappointed. I'm a disappointed Donnie if this man doesn't have 18 touchdowns in 2025. I'm a disappointed Donnie if he doesn't have 2,000 total yards. 14 to 1,500 rushing, 500 to 600 receiving, 70 plus receptions, 3 to 4 touchdowns on the ground, 13 to 15 touchdowns on the ground, 3 to 4 receiving. I just convinced myself that Bijan's the one. Bijan's the one. Bijan is the one. I'll wait to see what I think when I go through Gibbs' game log and we start talking Jahmyr Gibbs, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're like, oh, you know, Smitty, I think he did good. I remember him doing good. Let me show you Bijan's final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. If you don't remember exactly what Bijan did in the final 8 games, like if you didn't look at it recently, I'm about to drop your jaw to the floor. You're about to drool all over your phone right now. You're about to run out into the kitchen and tell your wife, who could care less about fantasy football, did you know Bijan Robinson did amazing in the final 8 weeks, Mama? Did you know that? Let me show you what Bijan did. I'm about to blow your socks off. If you haven't looked at this recently, even if you knew he did good, you're about to drool all over the place. The final game, 170 rushing and 2 touchdowns. Understand what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put a circle indicator on the screen so I can highlight what I'm speaking about. Look at this monster. 170 and 2 touchdowns. Wait, the week prior he had 2 touchdowns? 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wait a minute, Smitty. The week prior, 94 yards and 2 touchdowns? This man scored back-to-back-to-back 2 touchdown rushing games in the final 3 contests in 2025, one of which was against the Commanders. And I understand you're going to say Giants and Carrot. Doesn't matter. He had a touchdown. He had a little break here. Didn't have a score in this game, but 125 yards on 22 totes. Week before that, 1 tutty and 92. Week before that, 1 touchdown, 102. Had a little bit of a bad game here. This is probably Kirk Cousins' fault. Denver D. Okay. 8 weeks prior to the last week, 116 and 2. This man had 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. What are we talking here? And then when I say that he's the best receiving back in the league, look at these yardage totals. Nothing. Even with Penix Jr., he didn't get anything because he was too busy running the damn ball. But you can't say to a player that gets 170 yards and 2 touchdowns, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, 94, 2 touchdowns, hey, why didn't you do more receiving? He was busy. So I don't think this is a harbinger of things to come. I think this guy is capable of minimum this kind of number here. 6 for 33, 4 for 28, 3 for 28. This is going to be his regular receiving line to go along with what you're seeing here. And if you extrapolate this data out, this is an incredible amount of points. Let's extrapolate this out. And this is no receiving touchdowns. Let's see, 6 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Let's see here. Did I get it right? 10 divided by 8 is 1.25 times 17 is 21 touchdowns. I'm not saying this is smart math. I'm not saying it's a smart idea to extrapolate data. I'm talking myself into locking Bijan into the one without a...
Let him cook.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special message from the Bruce's mother.
Get Bijan.
Bijan. Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Guys, if I didn't convince you that Bijan's the consensus number one, I'm not saying my Gibbs take won't flip the script again, because I'm telling you, every time I do this, I love whoever I'm talking about when I'm talking about Bijan Gibbs. If I didn't convince you to take Bijan as the number one running back if you're drafting a running back in round 1, I don't know I don't know how to convince you of anything. Look at this line. Look at Penix Jr.'s in the game. Look what he's doing. Does anybody have any questions about this? I don't get it. How is he not the consensus number one overall running back? How's anybody taking Barkley? Has anybody taken anybody else? 21 touchdown pace. This isn't cherry picking. I left this game in here when I calculated that. I left this game in here when I calculated the touchdowns. He had 0. He had no receiving touchdowns in the string of games, which he totally could in 2025. I did not cherry pick. I took his last 8 games. I divided by 8. You get 21.25 touchdown pace on this 8-game stretch. If I didn't convince you that Bijan is the easiest thing to see coming at the running back position 2025, you might as well just get out of here. You might, because I don't think I'm ever going to get through to you. Unless you watch this show for Denny or Gump or just the entertainment value at all, I don't know why you're here. And there's nothing I can do to convince you about anything. So you might as well go.
Take a big lap. We don't need your head.
Okay, let's go to running back number 2. I mean, look, Gibbs. Then we pull up the Gibbs game log, and now I'm going to say, if I didn't convince you that Gibbs is the number one, then I don't think you should be here. Here's the thing about Jahmyr, is it's not that he can't do exactly what Bijan can do. We made that abundantly clear. Let me put his game log up. This is the 2024 regular season. Let me get rid of these so I don't confuse anybody. Those are Bijan's. Bijan was remarkable. Just remarkable. Just an absolute marvel. I don't even know where to begin on. It's so incredible. This is Jahmyr Gibbs. 14-12, 16 touchdowns, 52 for 517, 4 receiving touchdowns. This is why Gibbs gets the nod on the receiving department, because Bijan got the 1 receiving touchdown. We know he's fully capable of being as good as Gibbs. This is 52 receptions. I think we could get 70 out of Bijan. I think we could get 70 out of Jahmyr Gibbs. But look at the efficiency. 517 on 52 carries, 4 TDs on 52 touches or receptions. A long of 70, 16 touchdowns on the ground, 5.6 a carry. This is this right here is a almost guaranteed 2,000-yard player. And then you look at the touchdowns. Look at those numbers. 20 touchdowns. I don't know. How do I not put Gibbs number one now? We just projected Bijan's last 8 games, and we said 21 touchdowns. 21 touchdowns.
Let him cook.
But then we come to Gibbs's actual stats from 2024, and he had 20 touchdowns. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? They're tied. They're back to tied. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to do this. They're tied. I told you this was coming. I told you this is coming. Anybody says, Bijan's not my number one, you're like, what do you do? Smitty just told you. He just showed you why. Now I'm like, oh my God, bro. 14, 12, 16 on the ground. 52, 517, 4 TDs. Do you know who was the, let's see, I think I could find this stat real quickly, but percentage of snaps for his team. If I go to the leaders, let me go to 2024 stats. Let me go to season. Let me switch this over. This is 2025 projection. 2024 stats, season stats, snap percentage, RBs. You have Kyren Williams, not surprising, 80% of the snaps go to Kyren. Okay, that's definitely amazing, right? Bijan is 74, which is awesome. Gibbs is down at, and this is the knock people oftentimes have, he's ranked 25 in the National Football League in snap percentages for RBs, meaning that he gets only 55% of the snaps at the RB position. This is his worst case scenario. This is his worst case scenario. He gets you these numbers on 55% of the snaps. Can you imagine if he got a higher percentage of snaps? Like Kyren got 87% of the snaps. 87% of the snaps. That's insane. 55% versus 87. And I'm not saying the efficiency wouldn't go down. It probably would. But when someone says something to me, and this is a really elementary, uneducated haterade, just total fandom driven hate or whatever, they come in and they say something like, well, Monty, Smitty, Monty's still there. Monty's this is a problem, 55%. He was number one. How are you even, like, how is Steve even talking still? Steve 5647 on Instagram or YouTube or Twitter. He's still running his mouth about, why are you talking, Steve? Why are you even talking? What about Monty? Monty didn't miss a whole season last year. How many games did Monty miss in 2024? I don't know if Kruger is going to fully know the answer to this. He's been getting some stuff wrong. Hey, Kruger, how many games did David Montgomery miss in 2024?
Hey, Smitty, David Montgomery missed 4 games.
It sounds right. That sounds right. I'm pretty sure that was, he sometimes goes to 2023, but 4 games. He missed 4 games. And if you think Monty's not missing 4, can someone fact check Krug? If someone thinks that Monty's not missing 3 or 4 games at his age, his injury history, I got a bridge to sell you. This kid is doing this while Monty's on the field. And it's not like they're going to go draft another big back. You want Monty there. How many carries did Jahmyr Gibbs have in 2024? I'll give you a hint. It's right there. 250. How many times are the Lions going to run the ball? Let's just call it 500. 250. Is anybody worried about him getting enough carries? You don't want him getting more than 250 to 280 carries. You don't, or he'll get hurt. So there's let's call 450. 450 carries to go around. You're talking about somebody needing to carry the rock 200 times alongside of Gibbs, and you run your mouth about Monty being in the way. He was running back 1. He finished as running back 1 overall over Barkley, over Bijan, over everyone. He was running back 1 overall. And Monty missed the 4 games. Is that correct? Did we fact check the 4 games? Could somebody fact check the 4 games? Now, the risk could be you got Bijan going up, Penix Jr., things looking great. At the end of the year, Penix Jr. was humming. The offense was humming. Bijan was humming. Back-to-back 2 touchdown rushing games for Bijan. You might be saying to yourself, okay, there's all positives there. There's no negatives at all. There's no negatives whatsoever. Bryson, we're in the middle of doing a show here, and you're trying to get people to. I get you're trying to get people to go draft with you, but you're literally, some people are just on their phone and they're busy, and you're trying to take them out of the live stream. So I appreciate that, but you're in a 5-minute timeout for trying to lure people out of the live stream, regardless of whether it was good intentions. Okay, Bryson, hang tight. This is crazy. This is crazy. The only thing you're going to say as a negative is that they lost Ben Johnson. What are they going to do? They promoted within. They don't want things to change. It's going to be more of the same, right? They're going to try and implement the exact same process, but there's no guarantee that it's as fluid. There's no guarantee that it works the same. We got BBQ dropping a 50 gifted membership wad right on the screen. BBQ, a remarkable man. This guy's a marvel. He's a straight up marvel, dropping wattage all over. If you get a gifted membership from BBQ right now, you thank him right now. I'm going to say this. First of all, let's go. To be fair, let's go to his game log and look at his last handful of games too, because it's like, who is better? Who's better? Bijan or Gibbs? The answer is neither. I don't even know if I can clip his whole, I'm trying to clip the last 7-8 games, but I just keep seeing goodness and I keep going down and going down and going down. Here is Gibbs's game log. And I didn't grab all of it, but I wanted to be fair and say, if we're going to look at Bijan's final, stats, look at 139, 3 TDs, and then 1 receiving TD. 139 yards. What are we doing? What are we doing back there? What are we doing? 139 his final game. 3 TDs, 5 receptions, 31 yards of receiving, 4 touchdowns. Game before that, 117, 1 TD, 4 for 65. 109, 1 TD, 5 for 45. 31-1, but a receiving touchdown, 83 yards receiving. 2 touchdown game here. I told you this is going to happen. The Bijan stats look too good to be true. It looked like no one's going to contend with Bijan stats. Nobody was going to contend with Bijan stats. Not a single person. It was Bijan all the way. Locked in 1, right? Jaw dropped, yelling at people. You better not have anybody but Bijan number 1. You get to the Gibbs stats. You remind yourself that he scored 4 touchdowns in the final game. You remind yourself that the guy had not only the 4 touchdowns in the final game, but literally had touchdown. Oh, no, 2 touchdowns. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, 6 yards a carry, 6.5 a carry. Guy's a freaking monster, a freak of nature. They're tied. There's no argument here. There's no debate. They're tied. You want Bijan? Good for you. Go get him. You want Jahmyr Gibbs? Good for you. Go get him. They are tied. Tier break. Bijan Gibbs, tier break. But what about Barkley? What about Barkley, Smitty? I'll tell you. I like Barkley. I love Barkley. You love Barkley. We all love Barkley. But the problem is, we've got a situation on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, that is a concern and something that I'm going to caution you all to consider. This man has carried the ball. Is Travis in here? Travis, what's the total? Find the exact total again, if you could. I'm sorry I do this to you on the spot. If you don't have time to do it, no problem. What was Barkley's sum total regular season with the playoffs, carries, Regular season with the playoffs, total touches, including the receptions. I believe it was like 420 carries at the end of the year, and it was like 470 or no, something like that. 450 reception and rushing attempts, so total touches. It was crazy. And the thing is, the number, 476 total touches roughly. I think that was correct. And it was like 420, 430 carries. The thing is, the number that makes a player drop off the, not just for 1 year, their career is over. They're donezo. They're never going to be the same player ever again. It's the 371 carry curse. This is carries too. This is carries. This is not total touches. You have 371 carries in a season. There's very few, handful on one hand, running backs that can endure this and then have a successful career, let alone, 2025 season or the next season after this. 482 total touches. Was what Travis said. So Barkley had Travis is checking the numbers here, but he's saying 436 carries in 2024 and 482 touches. This should be 482 touches. Sorry, you can't see that. This should be alarming. This should make you almost run away from him. I'm not saying I'm going to move him down to 10. I'm not an idiot. I just, this is alarming. And you mix in the fact that he's got an injury history. You mix in the fact that they're probably not going to slow him down. They're just going to feed him. And you mix in the fact that he's got the Christian McCaffrey mentality where it's like, holy shit, this guy's not going to slow down. You can't even protect him from himself. But he has such an injury history that he granted is shaken free. I get it. But it's such an injury history mixed with the aggressive style where he puts his body on the line every carry, which you love, you admire it. It's why he's so good. He doesn't look in front of him. He's the kind of guy that will literally jump off a cliff and go, I hope this is not a big fall. Good, thank God. It's not a big fall. It's only a 5-foot fall. Let's go to the next cliff. Jumps. He doesn't look. He just leaps. So 482 touches, 436 carries. He's exceeded this 371 curse by an extreme number at an older age. Ziggy, how old is Saquon Barkley?
Saquon Barkley is 28 years
Ziggy, volume 10. Ziggy, how old is Saquon Barkley?
Saquon Barkley is 28 years old and was born on February 9, 1997.
Just turned 28. Running backs can have a good 28-year-old season. It's not out of the question. It's harder than it appears. 28 is oftentimes the drop-off year. 28 is when Eckler went from riches to rags. 28 is the Christian McCaffrey 2024 season that we just saw. Drops off the face of the earth. 28 is a bad year. 28 is not the best year. 28 is a year you got to slip past. And don't use Henry. Henry's 30, and Henry's just an anomaly that doesn't have any rhyme or reason to it. Some of it's how he's built, and just the way that he can still rumble over people, but you could see him slowing down. It's just they get him in space. Baltimore's done a real good job of masking some of the deficiencies that are starting to arise, and I think we're worried about Henry breaking down this year more than we were last year, because last year was like, look, let's just go all in again, and it was like second round was beautiful, and we were advocate of that. As the year prior was concerned, last year, and we weren't. We were taking him in the second round like clockwork. I'm gonna say Barkley's almost an avoid for me this year. It's scary to say that, and I'm not trying to say that I don't think he deserves this third spot. And I'm not saying that I'm going to avoid him at all costs, but when I start putting these players on the screen, I don't know that I can, in good conscience, put Barkley at 3. You almost have to have him in the top 5, but this is almost like a default de facto ranking. And then at the end of the day, I'm telling people I don't know that he finishes in the top 5. I believe that 2 of the 3, Barkley, Henry, and Christian McCaffrey, won't be top 10 running backs. I think 2 of the 3 might not even be top 15 running backs. And that accounts for injury, devastating injuries such as ACL, stuff like that. But, and this is 2025. I just don't think, and Silver makes a good point. This is what has me keep him in the top 5, is that I'm not betting against Barkley yet. And that's it. Look, Henry's proven that was a mistake, right? An anomaly. Here's an anomaly player. If anybody fits the bill for being an anomaly, like Derrick Henry, it would be Barkley that we could go identify, right? This feels like the last running back that feels, I don't know. Gump says, can't hear my sister on the phone and brother has gone crazy. Wipers are working now. Stay safe on the road there, Gumpy. I don't know. I don't know. If I'm looking at this thing, I'm going to say this, and this is going to shock the world. My number 3 running back, and understand what I'm saying here. This is not my ADP ranking. This is not my, hey, at cost, I like this guy a little more. This is going to be me predicting how they finish. This is such a tough one. This is going to be me predicting how they finish. This is bold. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm going to go Kyren 3. There's a lot of reasons for this. Kyren didn't play as well efficiency-wise last year as he did the year prior, but you got to remember that Cooper Kupp was injured. You had a lot of injuries that were striking that room. You had a lot of reasons why this team couldn't move the ball. Their offensive line got hurt. They walked into the 2024 season last year, the 2024 season with the heaviest offensive line in the National Football League, arguably the number 1 offensive line in the National Football League. The number 1 offensive line. They kept getting hurt. They started off the season ravaged with injuries. The offensive line was not the same. They didn't have Devontae Adams, which they have now. They had Cooper Kupp, who fell off, got hurt. Kyren Williams was inefficient, but they kept feeding him. Kyren Williams just continues to defy all the logic. And dare I say, we might hear some random, out of the blue, Kyren Williams extension in the offseason here. I'm just telling you right now, don't be surprised that Kyren Williams gets the bag, which will make all the quorum people run. But let me first say this before we get any deeper on the Kyren Williams situation. He is a absolute must-cuff quorum to Kyren Williams. There might be no better cuff in fantasy. Well, there are a couple of very close calls, but this is one of, and will remain one of the most important cuffs in all of fantasy football, because McVay's system is so good that Kyren, let me get these other stats off the screen. While Kyren can be number 1, and he really can, he could be the number 1 overall running back because he can score 20 touchdowns. It really is. He's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. If Corum comes in because the system's so good and he's a good player, he's top 8 to 10. So it's a top 10 running back. Not as good as Kyren, but it's a top 10 running back if you get Corum in the lineup. So it's a must-cuff situation. And it's also one of the more secure situations because Corum's going really late because people gave up on the Corum's taking over Kyren's job. People are still going to say negative things about Kyren. Oh, Corum's still there. But Corum is now dropped into a very, very late handcuff that you're literally, missing the boat and screwing up royally if you don't reach a round, and it's very late anyway. Reach one additional round to get your cuff and your top 5 running back cuffed. $12.99, only 4.1 yards per carry. 14 touchdowns, could have been a lot more. He got a lot of stuffs at the goal line because the line was injured. The team was not efficient. 34 for 182 and 2 touchdowns. He could easily have 50, 45, let's call it 45 receptions, 250 and 3 touchdowns receiving. He's a very good receiving back. They just use him so much on the ground, they don't have time to throw to him. What's the difference between these stats and what I believe he'll do in 2025? Davante Adams. Davante Adams is a nightmare for defenses, and I think he still has the ability to be that. And Davante Adams is going to command defensive attention. Davante Adams and Puka Nacua are going to spread out the offense or the defense so much more in 2025 than they did in 2024. This was a one-dimensional passing game last year, and it was a less than one-dimensional running game. It was easy to see them coming. It was easy to predict what was going to happen. The line's going to be better and healthy this year. And Brett says, why is Barkley not number one? Brett, we can't hold your hand. Like, go rewind and watch the show. You're watching a ranking show where I'm literally explaining it along the way, Brett. Rewind and start over. This is going to be a Davante Adams creates a monster in Kyren Williams. This is going to be the offense spreads out the defense in such a crazy way. We're looking at a 4.5, 4.8 yard per carry running, maybe a 5.0 yard per carry running back again. We're looking at him staying healthy all year probably because of that, and he didn't get hurt last year despite all the negativity. This is one of the most elusive, explosive, hard-nosed, nose for the end zone runners in the National Football League. And dare I say, a 1,400-yard season's in the cards at 5 yards a clip, 4.8 a clip. Dare I say, a 15 total rushing touchdown season's in order for this man. And dare I say, a 45, like I said, 250 receiving yard, 2 to 3 touchdown season. We're talking 18 totes into the end zone. Or 18 total touchdowns, 14, 15 totes into the end zone, 2 to 3 receptions. This is an 18 touchdown guy. And McVay loves him. That's going to be my... This is a bold show. For Brett and everybody else that just came in, they don't understand what's going on because they're asking the wrong questions at the wrong time and they're not watching the channel. They're not even watching what's going on. I'm going to predict that Barkley gets hurt. And I'm going to... I don't like doing that. But Christian McCaffrey's not going to be in this ranking. Derrick Henry's not going to be in this ranking. And Barkley's not going to be in this ranking. It's not to say that if they stay healthy, they won't be 1, 2, or 3. But I'm going to leave them out. And we're going to play a little risky game of if that happened, what in the hell happens after that? Smitty, you need to start doing this sober. Kyren over Barkley. Let's put you in timeout because you're not listening either. Come back when you're ready to listen to what I'm saying because I don't think you're even paying attention. Who is that that's saying that? Brett, you get a pass because you just got here. This guy right here, he's constantly trying to ruffle feathers in the live chat, so you can go in timeout for a little bit. This is the assumption that Barkley gets hurt. This is the assumption that Derrick Henry gets hurt. And the assumption that Christian McCaffrey gets hurt. This is a bold show. This is not the normal show. This is not the show that I might do tomorrow or we do say, well, where do we rank Barkley? This is a crazy, uncomfortable show. Where we are in this particular setting, understand the game we're playing here. The game we're playing, let me put it on the screen because someone's going to come in and they're not going to understand. Game. If Henry, Barkley, and CMC get hurt. Can I be any more clear than that? Okay, if Henry, Barkley, and CMC get hurt. Are we good? Let's continue on. This one's going to be crazy. Let's go Achane 4. I mean, this is just par for the course. These are our boys. Achane number 4. They bring in Bobby Slowick. I think he's going to help out the passing attack. Tyreek Hill should be healthy. We'll see if last year was a fluke. We'll see if he's got anything left in the tank. Achane still finishes a top 4 running back, despite the craziness that went on in that offense when Tua would go down, etc., etc. Bijan, Gibbs, Kyren, Achane. Game we're playing is if Henry, Barkley, and CMC, all very likely to not finish top 10 type of players if we're trying to identify risk. The game is if these guys are not in the top 10 because they get injured, what are we doing? This is what we're doing. Next up, we're going to go with another tie, which will make this so 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then this over here will be 7. And this, so we'll put 7 over here. And then this will be 8, which essentially will be our top 10. But we'll go a little further. We'll try and actually rank 10. But my 5 and 6 are going to be a tie between this man, Bucky Irving, and this man, Jeanty. This is my running back 5. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Bucky. Get buckied. Get buckied.
Get buckied. Buckied.
Bucky. Oh, Bucky.
Take a Bucky bath. Little nice little Bucky bath. This looks good. Again, let me repeat it for those in the back. Let me repeat the instructions as they say on Squid Games. Game to be played. If Henry, Barkley, and CMC get injured, let me repeat the instructions. Please report to your iPhone screen and watch Smitty rank the top 10 running backs as if Henry, Barkley, and CMC get injured. I will repeat the instructions. Do I need to? Look at this. I don't even know where to go from here. We got Barkley off the board injured. Ashton Jeanty, Achane, Kyren, Bucky. It's probably going to... I know we got Chase Brown still to go. I get it. I might get bold and crazy. Again, this is me making crazy statements, though. I think it's got to be Breece Hall next. And real quickly, just to touch on Bucky. For those that... Let me pretend you didn't see Breece Hall. Let's back up a second. So Hall's going to be 7. Let me take him off the board. But Bucky Irving, for those that don't really even understand what we're talking about here, this guy, top 5 in yards after contact per attempt, top 5 in forced missed tackles. He had a 44% snap share, which ranked 41st, I think, in the National Football League. So he was worse than Gibbs in terms of snap share. He only got 44%. Let's see. I think I got this number wrong. It's 40. He ranked 41st. So let me. So 40. So 40. Snap percentage is 44%, and then he ranked 41st in the league for it. Meaning there were more than 32 running backs that had more snap share than him. There's 40 that had more snap share than him. He was 4th in yards per carry. He was 12th in fantasy points despite this low snap share. He was 8th in 20-plus yard runs. He was 3rd in 30-plus yard runs. He was 7th in 40-plus yard runs. He was 6th in 50-plus yard runs. He was 10th in red zone targets. He was 10th in rushing yards. Again, all while being ranked 40. Let's do the ranking because the percentage snap share is important, but I think people need to realize that running back snap percentage, he ranked 41st in the league. Ranked 41. So that's going to be the number that's, I think, a little bit more heavy hitting. Otherwise, you're kind of probably lost it. Like, okay, well, what was everyone's snap share? I don't know. He ranked 41 in snap share. This guy's a monster. And if you watch his film, if you use your gut instinct and you say to yourself, like, okay, Smitty, and I even have the game logs here to go over with this character. Look at his game logs. This is Bucky's game log. You talk about not getting, look at attempts. 9, 7, 9, 10. He scored a touchdown. 9, 14. He scored a touchdown. Scored a touchdown here too. 9 carries, 9 carries. You see the pattern here, right? Let me see if I can put a red circle on here too so I can show you guys what I'm looking at here. We'll do a square. All right, here we go. So it wasn't until this week 10 game that he started to get double-digit carries, 13. But still, that wasn't an amazing amount. 73 yards and a touchdown, 12 carries, 88 yards and a touchdown, 5.6 a carry, 7.3 a carry. Then he comes over to this week 13 game. This is where Bucky was used as a starter. Look at the carry total column being green, except for this 4-carry game, which we're not going to mess with. We'll leave that in there. It's part of the data. 25 carries, 152 and a touch. 15 carries, 117, no touchdowns. 16 for 68 and a touch. 113, 89. And then the most important part was he goes into the playoffs, gets 77 yards rushing in the one playoff game and a receiving touchdown. He wasn't used until week 13 as a full-time starter. And when push came to shove in the playoffs, what'd they do? They gave him starter work. They gave him the receiving touchdown. They gave him 77 yards. They gave him, I think it was 18 to 20 carries. I think I have his playoff game log here somewhere. I want to say it is right here. Yes, here it is. 17 totes for 77 yards. No rushing touchdown, but he did have 2 receptions and the receiving touchdown. So this is very telling that at the end of the year, when he started finally getting 20 carries, 18 carries, 16 carries, all green column carry totals, that it continued on in the playoffs. Meaning if he had done this all year long, he's a top 5, top 6 running back. Bucky Irving is one of the biggest steals in fantasy football 2025. He's going in mother freaking 3.1 to 3.5 territory in best ball underdog promo code Smitty. Go draft him now before it's too late. The link will be dropped in the live chat right now. I'll pin the link in the description. Go play a 2025 draft right now using code Smitty and take advantage of something that won't be like this forever. I imagine Bucky will climb into the 18, 15 territory. This is a monster here. This is a monster in the making. And more than anything, if you take what I'm saying to heart, if you love this channel, if you feel like I predict some things right on this channel, look into my glasses as I tell you this. Bucky Irving has the it factor. My gut instinct goes through the roof. The Smitty gut meter goes through the roof on this one. This is my Kyren. This is my Achane. This is my last year Bucky, but on steroids. Bucky, when you watch him, he's the most elusive running back in the league. Gibbs is the most quick. Bijan's the most versatile. You know, there's a lot of things that a player can grab a hold of category wise. This is the most elusive. This is prime Christian McCaffrey. If you don't believe me and you're running your mouth right now, you're typing in their keyboard Clifford is like, Christian McCaffrey. Go watch the film. Go watch 2 minutes of Bucky Irving highlights, and I promise you, you'll say, is that Christian McCaffrey? Is that prime Christian McCaffrey? He's the most elusive running back in the National Football League. He can take any carry to the house at any moment. He cuts back across the field like no runner I've ever seen. How many, go watch a whole highlight reel of last year and count how many times the guy takes a carry to the right and cuts across the entire field and runs a 70, 80-yard touchdown down, or a 50-yard run downfield. A 7th and 40-yard runs, 6th and 50-yard runs, 3rd and 30-yard runs, 8th and 20, with ranking 41st in snap percentage, meaning he wasn't even in the top 32 running backs for snap percentage because of the beginning of his year. When did he start getting elite snap percentage? Honestly, he didn't even get as much of a top 10 regular appearance in the top 10, even in here. He just did so much great work with his 15, 16, and 19 carry games. New Age Outlaw dropping a $50 hauler. By the way, you can drop, I don't know if this is his bold prediction on here. Bold prediction. Unfortunately, you can't put bold prediction Bucky because Bucky's off the board. New Age, you got to drop a new one. The three that are off the table are the ones in the middle. Jeanty top 5, Neighbors 1, and Bucky top 5 running back, because those are the ones that I claimed just to isolate those three. So give me another one. Give me another one, New Age. I'm sorry. Those are off the board. Those 3 players are off the board. Unless you're doing an anti-prediction, because then it's a completely different prediction. Those are Smitty's predictions. I locked those 3 in. I won't do another just to make sure I don't take any other big names off the board. Give me another one, New Age. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Jeanty. The only thing I can say about Jeanty right now is... Jeanty, I don't know. Do we keep that one? do we keep that one's a little too interactive, but if you guys like it, we'll keep it. Where are we at? Jeanty can be a top 5 running back, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Top 5 running back material. Where does he go? That's part of the fun. Where does he go? Does he land in LV? Here's the draft order. LV at 6 is I believe strongly considering this. Would he go to Chicago at 10? Definitely, if he's there. I mean, Ben Johnson's taken Hampton. Jeanty deserves more than that one drop for sure. Yeah, he's gonna have 3 or 4 drops for sure. But yeah, if we're keeping the Jeanty Titanic one, let me know. Vote in the chat. Okay, so Jeanty for me. No matter where he lands, he's going somewhere where they need him. He's going to get the volume. I'm going to go ahead and say Jeanty, Bucky, 5. Love it. Lock it in. And now we're going over to number 7, which is Breece Hall. Breece Hall is 8 feet tall. We all know how good he is. We all know that if he had a quarterback, consistent quarterback play, he'll probably be pretty damn good. Because when he got the ball, he was phenomenal. When he didn't get the ball, he wasn't.
Get Breece.
Okay. Aldi says keep the Jeanty Titanic drop, but I'm still waiting for more votes. We're definitely have more Jeanty stuff. We don't have anything else. It's either the worst video drop or the best. Sometimes it's hard to know. Sometimes it's the one I've hated the most, you guys have loved the most. So it's completely up to you. The reason we did that is we did that once. I was running around the studio on Jeanty, and I got in there and I just went like this, and then it became a thing for a minute, but I don't know if it stuck. The Jeanty shuffle, yeah, that could be one. Gump is having a bad day. Gump's having a B-day party, says Gump. Gump saying of himself. Gump talks about himself in the third person. I see Breece balling out this year. I do too, BBQ. I think the thing you got to think about with Breece Hall is that with Fields there, finally stretching the field in the dual threat that is Fields. And I know some are going to say he's going to take away the touchdowns from Breece Hall, or he's going to take away the runs, but I'm more worried about Breece Hall being efficient than I am him getting more and more work, because I don't think we want him. He's like, Bucky. He's very, very elusive, and you don't necessarily need him to have the same number of touches as another player to be as good as he could be. And if we look at his sum total game log, because I want to look at that together, and to be honest with you, I haven't pulled it up in a while, so this is going to kind of give me on the fly refresher, if you will, on his game log. I know what his stats are, but like, have I looked at the actual trending at the end of the year? And if I remember correctly, there were good yards per carry throughout the majority of the year. Yeah, but it was like, look at the beginning of the year. He had the 3.4, the 4.4, 3.4, 2.6, 3.2. But when he got work, look at this 16 carry game right here. Let me get my indicator back. Put that up here. So when we look at like this 16 carry game, 78 yards, a touchdown, 43 and a touchdown, 15 carries, 74 yards, 18 carries, 113, 16 carries, 54 and a touch. When he's getting the volume, he's a beast. 14 carries, 62 yards, receiving touchdown. He's really, really solid. He's amazing when he's getting 14 carries and more. It's just when you give him 9 carries, when you give him 10 carries, you give him this low number, 12 carries. He can only do so much. Like, I really don't think that anything here is alarming. 4.8, 4.5. These two games, look, I mean, this is inefficiency because the offense can't move the football, I think. It's not about him. 5.0 yards per carry, 4.9, 5.2, 4.9, 5.0, 6.3. I mean, the beginning was rough. The London games suck. I hate even seeing that. Why do we go to London? No offense if you're in London right now, but why do the NFL players have to travel to London? Why can't we just schedule the game and do some sort of like amazing tribute to London viewers or something, or I don't know, let them view it for free and just get them into. Why we got to take players to London? It doesn't make any sense. It's all about money, but it doesn't make any sense. Looking at this, he had one 100-yard game. I'm not alarmed when I look at this. I'm only alarmed that he didn't get used properly. So my point here is this. I believe that Breece Hall can fly. I believe he can touch the sky. And I believe that Justin Fields is going to open up this offense, and the defense will be completely worried about spying where Justin Fields is, and Breece Hall is going to have open lanes to rip. And I think it was a bad thing to have Aaron Rodgers in town. It wasn't good for Hall. Hall was running back 2 with Zach Wilson in the lineup when Aaron Rodgers went down in week 1. He was running back 2, Breece Hall. This is Breece Hall's game log and all of his stats prior to this season. So this is 2023. Running back 2 overall. He was top 3 running back 29% of the time. He's a top 5 running back 35% of the time. He's a top 10 running back 41% of the time. He was running back 3, 4, 7, 2, 1, 3, 2. He had an amazing season. I have no doubt in my mind Breece Hall is a value, a steal. And when we consider we have a tie here and a tie here, we're talking about this being really running back 9. So this is really running back number 9 that we've listed in the game. Let me repeat the instructions. Game is this. If Henry, Barkley, and CMC all get injured or are not top 10 running backs, then Hall is actually running back 9. And he's running back 9 from somebody that's very bullish on him. That is fantastic. That even in my world, I can't force him any higher. You know what that means? He has almost zero chance of climbing really high and being hard to fathom taking at his ADP. This is did New Age drop another prediction? Let's see. New Age New Age, I need a prediction. I need a new prediction. You know, New Age might deserve to be able to link onto the Bucky prediction, though. I think BBQ and New Age have earned the right to grab one of those, probably. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Does New Age deserve to attach himself to the Bucky prediction on the board? Or does that need to be off limits? Jeanty, Bucky, Hall. Hall's gonna ball. I love the fact that he's baked in. He's baked in. I can't even rank him higher than 9 overall running back. And that's with Henry and Barkley not even being ranked right here. So is Hall probably everybody else's 10, 11, 12? Yeah, his ADP's running back 11. New Age says, okay, then let's go with Hampton, top 5 running back. Woo! Doggy! I like it, pal. I like it. $50 hauler.
$50. Give me $50 holler. Get by the brother Smitty. Give me $50. Oh, yeah.
Hampton, top 5 RB. That is bold, son, and I love the hell out of that prediction. That is fantastic. Hampton, top 5. Put it on the board. It's at the very top. Hampton, top 5 running back. Love it, bro. Love it. Nice job. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Spicy, but nice. I agree. Thomas says spicy. I like it. It's really good. All right, so Breece Hall, 7. I might get spicy too here. This one's also going to be a tie between our boy Chase Brown New Age.
You've just been Smitty approved.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man. Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
So we're gonna put Hampton on the bold prediction board. Mars man Hampton. He's gonna be amazing in the right spot. His value's climbing higher and higher. So let's run this back for good measure. We've got a new Mars man, ladies and gentlemen.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man.
JT, yeah. We'll put JT right here next to Hall. That's the only player that I do need to put on this list that's not on here. I'm not gonna lie, I have some concerns about JT, but not so much that I can't put him here. This is my top. This is a crazy attempt at the top 10 running backs in a very bold style. This is the bold version of this kind of, you know, show. Where's my... Let me get rid of that sound for just a second. So who dropped a 50 gifted membership? Is that BBQ? BBQ, thank you. Appreciate you dropping the 50 gifted memberships. BBQ to the mother freaking moon. BBQ.
Give me $50 holler.
BBQ, you get another bold prediction right now for that. Yeah, so I'm going to put JT 7. I think JT does need to be on the board. Okay, so Hall and JT tied at 7. I'm sorry there's 3 ties here, but I think it's important to know that there's not a big difference between a couple of these guys. Like if you're drafting Hall or JT, clearly Hall goes later, so the cost of entry on Hall is much better. But if you're drafting Hall or JT, you're getting a player I think is very similar at the end of the day in a vacuum. Same thing with Hampton and Brown. And so Gibbs and Bijan, I think the ties aren't a cop-out or a way to hedge bets or anything. It's really just a valuation like meter, so to speak. So this is my top 10 running backs. I'll now repeat the instructions. Game. The game is if Henry, Barkley, and CMC get hurt, who are the top 10 running backs? And there they are. Phone lines are open. I don't know how long we'll be here. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Yeah, I think that looks good. I think JT does need to be there. 7. I do have JT below Jeanty and Bucky, though. I know it's bold, but I think he does need to be next to Hall. That was a good call. I'm spitballing it. So Jacobs, look, I like Jacobs, but, chalk this up to like he's next, but, little concerned about breakdown with Jacobs a little bit more. You've got other players like, Najee that could slip in, Kenneth Walker, Trey Henderson. I love Henderson. He could slip in to this area. James Cook, Chuba Hubbard. You gotta pick and choose. It's not easy to make these decisions when you're trying to narrow it down to a 10. Especially with some ties. Denny, you're live. What's up, Denny?
Smitty, man, what's up?
What's up, Denny? Hey, Denny, can I play a voicemail for you? This voicemail was left for me the other night, and I just want you to hear it. It's amazing. And this is not to discourage anybody from leaving, voicemails like this, but here you go, Denny.
All right, let's get it. No, you're right, Smitty. Birdie sucks. You're right. I saw it the other day. I watched the old shows. But yeah, Purdy sucks. So that's I want you to start on that one. All right. I'll talk to you later. Oh, Purdy sucks. The things we always do. Why are you doing that?
Why am I doing what? You let the voicemail on the show voice line. This isn't the personal number. This is the show voicemail, where people leave voicemails and I play them. I mean, what do you want me to do? It's like dropping a comment in the comment section. Go, why are you talking about my comment? What are you talking about, Denny? Denny, walk us through what happened there.
Okay. So everything hurts. It's all pain.
What's pain?
Act like you know what's going on, but pain.
Well, how can we help you? Gump's going through something too. Gump says he's kind of down in the dumps. Let me add Kyrie Boston real quick. Let me just merge this call. Okay, there we go. Kyrie Boston, hang tight real quick for me. Denny, tell us what's going on. What's pain?
Listen, pain to live is to suffer, to survive is to find meaning in the suffering.
Gotcha.
We're all, but I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But I love you guys.
We love you, Denny. Denny, you're the showstopper. You and Gump are staples. You don't listen to anybody that says anything negative about you two. I don't think you and Gump have ever talked together. What I've had 2 requests for, I've had 2 requests so far for you and Gump to debate.
All right, let's do it.
Gump, are you around? Gump, call in. I want to have a little debate here. He's a big Detroit Lion fan, so if you could cook up any sort of anti-Lion take, that would be the greatest debate of all time.
Yo, can I say something? Then,
What'd you say, sweetie?
Is this Kyrie Boston? Who's talking?
Yeah. I wanted to say something about this debate. I'm kind of caught in the middle because I'm such a big Patriot fan and such a big Detroit Lion fan. Like, I started being a fan when I was a child. The reason why I love the Lions is because, they were Lions. I'm a big Lion fan. I love Lions as a kid, so, and the Eagles too.
Okay.
I don't need the Lions.
Oh, here's Gump. Hold on. All right, everybody be quiet, except for Gump and Denny. Gump, you're live. Gump, I think Denny has a problem with the Lions.
No way. Denny, I get around in my truck, and I'll tell you what. If you become a Lions fan, I'll buy a big Pepsi and we'll share a pizza. Right now.
How you gonna get mad at that guy?
No. Listen, give me a yes or no.
It's a no.
That's a no.
That's a no?
Oh.
I love it.
Okay, let me wait a minute. I'm gonna ante up. We're gonna go to a really, really good restaurant. I mean, succulent good. I mean, your eyes gonna bug out of your eyes if you go to this restaurant. Are you a Lions fan?
Denny's or where are you taking him? Denny's?
Oh no, we don't do that shit.
The truck stop.
About?
One of the local.
What are you talking? No, I went up to freaking Maine. I spent $800 a meal. What are you talking about?
Well, okay, $800 a meal.
Okay, come on.
Gump.
I need something.
Where's Gump's super chats?
Ante up, Denny. Ante up.
Hey, Gump.
Up. Come on.
Gump. You spent $800 a meal, and I haven't got a super chat from you yet.
Yeah.
Can you hold that pizza? Can you hold that pizza? Can you keep it in the warm oven? The warm oven.
Can I just say how honored I am right now to have Gump and to have Denny on the phone? At the same time.
What's going on out there? What's going on out there?
All right, hold on, Gump. Denny. Hold on.
I'm just happy to be here.
Hey, hold on.
Okay, you can't just pick on the Lions.
I'm a Lion fan, and I'm a Patriot fan.
Everybody be quiet.
Eagles fan, so I'm just happy to be here, man.
All right, everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet, but Denny. Everybody be quiet, but Denny and Gump, or I'm gonna hang up on the phone line. Denny said that the Lions without Ben Johnson are going downhill, and they're not going to be a good team in 2025.
Okay, hold that thought. Everybody, hold that thought, Smitty. I did look it up. I did freaking look it up. Freaking Benny Boy Weasel Johnson did draw off the play. He called it.
Gump, focus on what I'm trying to tell you. Gump, who cares about that? Focus. Gump, listen to me. Gump, listen to me. Focus.
All right, go ahead.
Denny says the Lions aren't going to do good next year.
That's like saying you don't like pizza. I don't make no sense.
Denny, you want to elaborate here? Denny?
I'd like to get in here. Man, this is so out of line. With this thing, I don't even know what should go. I remember coming through one now. Do you remember when we used to just stop?
You gonna take that, Gump?
I want to know what team that Denny likes. That's what I'd like to know.
I can't even get them focused enough to argue. These two guys can't even argue right. They don't even know what's going on. I can't even.
No. What team does Denny have? Okay.
This debate can't happen. This debate's not happening. I can't even organize it. I can't keep one of them talking about the same thing for 2 minutes. I can't even.
What's Denny's team? What is this team?
New England Patriots.
Okay.
The Patriots. Oh, good God. Definitely changed teams.
Denny, you going to take that?
Come on, man. I can't even say that.
I kind of like
this. Ain't nothing worse than a Patriot fan. They even got the freaking Packs beat. Horrible.
Listen to me.
What's that? What octave are you hitting, Gump? Why does Gump sound different? Doesn't Gump sound different? He sounds like coherent today, and he sounds like a little higher.
You know what I'm talking about, son. We left the Motown
But
music.
Gump, something's off about your voice. Gump, something's off about your voice. It sounds too high. It sounds too.
Up, son. What?
No, you're too coherent. What's going on here?
Ben Weasel called that play, Smitty. He drew it up and called it and threw the game.
Yeah, I don't know. This is weird. He doesn't sound like Gump. He sounds a little bit like he's.
Not at all.
Gump is normally like, hey, Smitty, yes, Smitty. This is like.
All I have to say, I'm over here like, what about Bob sailing the freaking boat?
He's amped up.
Sailing over here.
He's amped up and he's talking at like 2 times speed. I've never heard Gump talk this fast.
We're gonna win.
I've
had some crazy dreams.
That is Gump.
Last night. I had some crazy dreams last night.
That's Gump.
Tell me about the dream.
Never mind.
Which one?
All right, hey, I can't keep going. I can't keep going at this rate.
Okay,
Gump
wait a minute. Here, we're gonna focus on the Patriots here. Denny, sell your season tickets. I'll tell you right now. You want fantasy? You want reality?
He's too sharp though.
They're gonna break your heart, son.
Gump sounds too precise.
Your freaking heart. Sell your season tickets.
Okay, I need Gump and Denny to be quiet right now because I need to have a civil conversation here for a second. So if both of you can mute real quickly. Kyrie Boston, give me your take, and then I'm gonna bounce off everybody off the phone line one by one. So Kyrie Boston, you got 10, 15, 20 seconds.
Oh, I'm loving it. This whole running back thing that you're doing tonight, because I used to play running back, and this is my favorite position thing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know people aren't going to love. People aren't going to love.
Black.
What?
What color are you? Are you black?
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, Denny.
Ooh,
come on, Denny.
I got love for everybody. I'm from Boston. Yeah.
Denny, that's not the right question to ask somebody.
He probably could tell though by our conversation though. It's all right. I think I met him before though. I think I met Denny before.
How do you meet Denny?
Me and Denny probably met a few times.
How did you meet Denny?
I think I did.
I'm all over Boston, to be honest with you. I used to sell a lot of DVDs back in the day. So I'm all over the city like white on rice. And I was a people person.
I've never heard that line before. How do you think you met this guy? I used to sell a lot of DVDs.
Not only that, before that, I used to hustle a lot of stuff over the years. And I played a lot of sports. I've been everywhere, man.
And what Denny's the kind of guys buying hustled gear? You're saying? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's all I'm saying. It's all.
Okay. Anyway, Kyrie Boston. Final thoughts, and then I gotta boot the phone line here one by one.
No. I was gonna say I like that Jahmyr Gibbs at number 2, but I put him at number 1 though. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean he's not number 2.
Ain't Barkley, it's Jahmyr Gibbs for me, man.
It's not. He's not 2. He's tied for 1. They're both at 1. Yeah.
Oh, they both at 1.
Yeah. Go rewatch that part.
I love that tape.
Go rewatch that part. All right. Go rewatch that part. You'll like it.
Okay.
All right, hey, Kyrie Boston, we'll see you later. Stay away from those DVDs. They're out. You got to start selling something else. Those are gone.
Those are out of business now, man.
now it's gift cards.
DVDs in years.
Now it's iTunes cards. Oh, Gump hung up. He said he's done. All right, Kyrie Boston, we'll see you later, bro.
Okay.
I think Gump was waiting for his pizza. All right, Denny, final thoughts.
I think.
Did you ever buy any DVDs from Kyrie Boston?
You know what? I think that this is no racial bounds. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
This show.
I don't think I want to know what you're saying. Right
I love it.
The show loves you back, Denny. All right, Denny, we'll see you later, bro. Don't stay away from Kyrie Boston selling them DVDs. DVDs are outdated, all right?
I love Kyrie Boston, but I love that. I don't know, man. Thanks for having me on, man.
All right, later. Hey, Denny, keep your chin up. And you need to call and leave a voicemail, or maybe I'll pick up late at night. You go ahead and call, pal. All right, we'll see you later.
Really, always. These people don't know. It's me talk late night. You know what I mean?
Two best friends that anybody could have. All right, Denny, we'll see you later. See you, Spider.
All right, later on.
Later, Spider. Bruce, you're live. 10, 15 seconds. Bruce, go.
Hey, Smitty, do you think Kellen Moore with Kamara, or if they draft a running back, can make them a top 10 guy? Because he's been really good with running backs.
Yeah, I just worry about Kamara like having a good like mixing month and then boom, a good 2 months, first 8 games, first 10 games, and then Kamara drops off the face of the earth. So I'm not opposed to drafting Kamara in best ball because then you got these other players that can step up at the right time. So that's
somewhere where I would like them to like Jeanty. I'd actually like to see Jeanty go there.
I don't want that. I don't want that. You don't want him there with Kamara for a year. You don't want him there in a bad offense with Derek Carr, and maybe long term it could work out or something. But this is definitely not where you want him to go. Bruce, sometimes I got to protect you from yourself.
Yeah.
No,
all
Bruce.
Right.
Somebody, if Bruce has any control over this, somebody handcuff him on draft day and put him in a chair. There's no way we can have that happen. Bruce, appreciate you. Call in tonight if we go live again. I'll see you later, pal.
Yep. See you.
All right, Travis, you're live. God.
Hey, so that was good.
Not Bruce. I'm not saying that to you.
Gump and Denny met each other.
Yeah.
No, I just want to touch on the whole Barkley thing. Like, not saying he can't do it, which I think you said too.
Yeah.
But just looking at people that have done it before. I mean, basically Henry's the only guy in recent memory, and that was 2019 and 2020. He had 408 carries and 418 carries back-to-back seasons, or touches back-to-back seasons. And then after that, he fell off. 237, he got hurt after 8 games. But that was when he was 25 years old, So he's a freak in his prime doing it. But it's just very hard to do. And since then, obviously, he's bounced back and, done well. But, we're also talking about a guy who's massive.
I mean, keep in mind, saying that Barkley's going to have a bad year and get hurt is no bolder than when we said it about Christian McCaffrey last year.
Right.
No bolder. It's no different. And if Barkley falls off the face of the earth, the way people treat McCaffrey now is the same way they'll treat Barkley. No one's going to have any loyalty to it. They're just going to be Eckler. When I said avoid Eckler, run away from Eckler. And granted, I did say stay away from Derrick Henry 2 years ago, so it's not like I always land this, but there's a lot of statistics to this that make sense to run, and if you get it wrong once in a while, you're still drafting a great player. Avoiding Derrick Henry 2 years ago, I didn't avoid him last year, but 2 years ago, avoided Derrick Henry. You're still drafting a great player where Derrick Henry's going, so it's not like you busted because you didn't take him. You're avoiding risk. You're being risk averse. But the year that Eckler busted, he came off a top 4 running back season, and people were like, he's got 2-3 years left, and they called me crazy. And last year, when I was selling Christian McCaffrey in every dynasty league I could, I did that Achane and DK trade that nobody really thought was a great trade when I did it. I put it up on the show, and the chat didn't say anything positive really about it. They're just like, yeah. But Christian McCaffrey was balling. He came out of 2023 as the consensus easy. He was the number 1 overall pick in 2024. And he was the biggest avoid for me, and he busted on everybody. So I'm just saying that everybody's going to be very quick to be like, Barkley's amazing, but nobody was saying a negative thing about CMC. It's not that I'm going to, let's say I miss on this and Barkley's top 3. What is it? How is it going to hurt me? I'm still taking what I consider to be a safer player that's going to score as many points or right around there, in my opinion. I just think Barkley's workload, it's devastating. And not to mention, they're losing Kellen Moore. Who knows if the offense will be exactly the same? It took a step back last time they lost their OC when Shane Steichen went to Indy. So there's a lot of reasons to be like there's a little bit of a concern. New Age dropped a $50 bold prediction. Or, I'm sorry. A $50 free prediction. The next person that gifts any sort of membership gets to use that bold prediction on the board. So thank you, New Age. Appreciate you. You're such a good dude. And BBQ as well. You guys are two peas in a pod. I've never seen BBQ and New Age in the same room at the same time, though. To be honest, they feel like they're twins. They just give. How would you rank these in Dynasty? Oh, so Benji, I did say I'd give Dynasty a take, didn't I? I would say in Dynasty, I'm moving Jeanty to 3. I'm moving Bucky to 4. Achane and Kyren tied at 5. Breece Hall could move up to that, but maybe stay right here. Hampton could move up and be tied at 7. So that's how it would probably move for me. Bijan Gibbs and Bijan Gibbs and Jeanty in the same tier. And then at this spot here, this third spot, it would be Bucky, Achane, Kyren in that order, but in the same tier. And then Breece Hall, JT, Hampton, and Brown probably stay very close. That's how I'd rank it in Dynasty. And these guys are old dogs. So. You what?
Or do you have to see a landing spot?
Who?
Trey Henderson climb into the top 10
yeah.
Trey Henderson, or would you have to see a landing spot?
No. I could put in Dynasty, I could put him in the 10. A 9-10 spot. Easy. Trey Henderson, I love. So yeah, I would say because we removed all the old dogs, kind of the point of this exercise was that we're concerned about Henry, we're concerned about Barkley, we're concerned about Christian McCaffrey, obviously. So if you take those guys out, the Dynasty ranks don't even really, they just move a little bit, we massage them a little bit, but this is the Dynasty rank. Almost taking these guys out made it a Dynasty ranking in a way, but I would just move Jeanty up to tie for 1, maybe he's even 3rd or 2. Probably tied at he's probably 3. Jeanty at 3, but tied in tier 1. And then Bucky, Achane, Kyren in that order in the next tier. Maybe Breece Hall and JT and Hampton and Chase Brown are like really almost climb into this tier with these guys, but at the bottom. Gifted membership from who dropped these?
Luis on the hell.
Lewis, what's your bold prediction, Lewis? You just acquired the $50 bold prediction by New Age. Appreciate you. Lewis, drop your bold prediction, my guy. Thank you so much. We've got New Age with the Hampton prediction today. Benji with that other super chat. Thank you. New Age with another prediction. New Age or another super chat. New Age with 3 super chats tonight. Gifted memberships. BBQ with the gifted memberships. Thank you both for doing that. Thank you, Lewis, for the gifted memberships. And Lewis, I'll look for your prediction right now. All right, Travis, final thoughts.
Yeah, just with the 2023 with Henry, he ended up as the RB8, but up until the last game of the year, he was like RB12. He was at 3.9 yards per carry. So, you know, he was good, not great. You know, and that was after a 382 touch season. You know, so even him, you know, having a good season, he still didn't come close to matching what he did the season before after having that many touches. So it's like, it's almost set in stone. They can't come close to matching what they did. A lot of times they end up.
I just think in general, this is how I feel when and the reason I did this is because this is where my mind goes. And I know that a lot of people get upset when Barkley's not high ranked, but I almost have to play this game in order to allow the ranking to be accepted. Like I gotta make it a game and say this game is Henry, Barkley, and CMC. If they got hurt and I took them off the board, how are you ranking these? And that's the only way I can really, I think, logically get through to some people, because they're just not going to have it. They're going to say Barkley's did. And it's okay and I might be wrong on Barkley. And I'm not saying I don't draft him in some scenarios. I'm just saying in general, if I had one league and I didn't play in 10 leagues or whatever, I'm not using my top 3 pick on Barkley. I'm not using my top 5 pick on Barkley. And if I played in 10 leagues, then I would. I'd take Barkley in one. I would want some skin in the game in case I'm wrong on this, because he's still, if he's healthy, he's a top 3 player, a top 3 running back, maybe, one, you could argue one, but if push comes to shove in a vacuum, I don't want him when these other players are on the board. Not to mention, I'm not saying I'd take Kyren over him because Kyren's got 3rd round ADP. I'm just saying cost of entry. Kyren is better. Give me Neighbors. Give me CeeDee Lamb. Give me JJ. Give me Ja'Marr Chase over taking Barkley because I can get Kyren in round 3 or non-best ball. I can get him at least in 2. So give me Kyren and give me CeeDee Lamb over Barkley and a wide receiver I can't really find in round number 2 that I like. All right, Travis, got to run. Appreciate you. If we do a show tonight, call in then.
Can I ask you one quick trade question? I forgot.
Yeah.
Would you trade Nico, Trey Benson, in the 1.08 to get to 1.01 and draft Jeanty?
Yes. Oh, well, Nico, you could argue. The thing about it is I rank Jeanty over Nico. So does the 1.8 and what was the other player?
Trey Benson.
Yeah, I like him, but he doesn't move needles in a trade. So I'm gonna say give me Jeanty over Nico.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, later, Travis. Appreciate it.
Talk to you later.
All right, Lewis's bold prediction: Scary Terry top 5 wide receiver. Okay, so Lewis Villalaba. Is that how you say it? Louis Villalaba. I'm going to put you up there. Louis Villalaba. It's March 19. Doing it live. Louis. March 19. 3/19. Louis. Scary Terry top 5. Hey, was that Lewis with a L? I mean a U. Luis. There we go. All right. Yeah, buddy Lewis. Thank you, New Age, for doing that, and thank you, Lewis, for dropping it. I'll see you all later. Thank you for playing the game. Let me repeat the instructions. The game was if Henry, Barkley, and CMC all got hurt and weren't capable of being projected in the top 10, who are your top 10 running backs? Here they are. Chew on that. Do it live. See you all tonight. Thank you for the super chats. BBQ, New Age, appreciate you. I'd rather have BT and Saquon than CD and Kyren. You can't get BT and Saquon, bro. They're both first rounders, so that doesn't make any sense. Good night, family, says Caps. Appreciate you. I mean, I don't blame you. Yes, I don't blame you at all. Human Ziggy is gonna miss you at Stadium Swim, Smitty. I'm still thinking about it, but I don't think I'm going. But I'll have to think really quickly, I think. But we'll see, Ziggy. Appreciate you. I think you can get BTJ in the second round in a lot of instances. I disagree. Maybe in your non-best ball, you could get him into the top of round 2, but Barkley goes 1, 2, or 3 in this situation that you're describing. Like if running backs are heavy enough to push BT in your league down into the second round, then there's no way BT's at the turn pick in 2, 3. So like Barkley's going 3, BT falling all the way to that late second round pick. I don't see it. I don't see a world where that's actually even possible. Has anybody ever drafted BT? I'm not talking about doing an ESPN mock draft that doesn't have BT ranked high enough because it's a computer drafting, bad data from the jump. Has anybody ever seen BT fall past 14? I don't think so. So, JS, I would probably curb your expectation. I appreciate you, though. I'm not mad at you, JS. I'm just telling you, I'd curb your expectation. I don't think there's a chance in hell you're getting Barkley and BT on the same team ever, bro. Ever. I don't think you'll see it one time in a real setting. One time. Appreciate you, though, JS. I'm just preparing you. I've been slacking watching videos. Well, they're there for the taking, pal. All right, JS, appreciate you. If you find out, you can. If you do a real league and you get that, let us know. But I just think BT's got no shot at going to the middle of the second round, let alone the end, which is where that would match up with the Barkley pick. JS, you could trade into it. All right, I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Deuces. Probably be back tonight.